Hello, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are hearing from. Welcome to Align with Your Dharma. Thank you so much for supporting my podcast and giving me feedback so I can bring in new guests that helps you, whether you are a business owner or whether you are somebody who is willing to learn like me, get all the information to help me myself and then spread the knowledge to everybody I know would also benefit from it. So today, my guest is a business marketing and a profitability coach. Don't we all need someone like that, especially business owners, right? So this individual helps small business owners, especially trades and service-based companies, build stronger systems and more sustainable systems and with low stress growth. So, drawing on decades of leadership experience and a practical, audience focused coaching style, this coach, she equips the owners with clear strategies that improve operations, marketing, and decision making. So, she is known for her turning overwhelm into confidence, giving entrepreneurs the tools and the support they need to run profitable businesses that actually work for their personal and their professional life. Because if it is impacting their professional life, it seeps into the personal life. Without further ado, I welcome Cindy Keidel, business marketing and a profitability coach. Welcome, Cindy.
Hi, Aruna. It's so good to see you.
Thank
I love
you.
I love how we see each other every week at various H7 meetings and get a chance to get to know each other and do group work. It's great.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So, to start off, I want to ask you, um, how did your journey start that you decided, okay, I want to be the business marketing and a profitability coach? I want you to explain the journey so the listeners of Align with Your Dharma can understand where your journey started and what brought you to where you are today.
It's interesting. Journeys can be very long, and I feel like mine was from decades of just growth in myself of going down different paths. So I've been a training and development manager. I was a VP for an international marketing company doing strategy for big pharma and biotech and some other groups. I folded into community relations where I was constantly putting together with our university people and organizations and kind of working to bring people together and figure out how to make things workable. And all during this time, especially when I was a manager and a director, you coach your people. So I learned a lot from coaching staff, people that counted on me to help them get their job done. And I found that one is accountability, just accountability to myself and to others to continue to progress. So I ended up during COVID, and I was in the community relations job at the time. I ended up in Los Angeles where I was working for an economic development group. I was a board member, and a number of us were asked to coach businesses. I had an MBA at the time, and I spent a lot of time on supervisory and managerial training and all that. So I kind of brought it all together and started coaching small businesses. And I'd never really worked with that small of a business before. And I found it fascinating and I loved it. So my path was really this, thing that led me finally to wanting to be a business coach. So when I moved from Los Angeles to Ohio, it was just a natural. It was absolutely just natural. I still had a few clients because I found out how much I enjoyed working with people and how much I enjoyed seeing them improve and just succeed. And it made me so happy. So my journey was, can I help one business, one person at a time?
Thank you. So you are just like other business owners. You are saying that your journey was not just linear, it was all
Yeah, I didn't know it was going to take me here. I really didn't. I
Mm,
found I know when I was mentoring people just informally. I was a director at the time of a large corporation, and a lot of people would come to me on the side and talk about their situations and ask for advice. I wasn't doing profitability coaching as much as mindset and behavioral and how to manage situations. So I spent a lot of time in that space before I really got into working with small businesses and how to make them more profitable. And half the time it's about people.
mm.
Yeah, it's process systems and the dumb things we do to spend money and don't really think about it. But I remember thinking, gosh, how easy it is for me to look at someone else's business and situation and really come up with some tactics and things they could try, and people found it useful. I wish I could do that for myself. I use a coach too, because sometimes I don't see my blind spots.
Yeah, coach needs a coach, so that is important. Then we can help others. So when you said you were mentoring, were you mentoring young individuals, or you mentoring when you were in playing the role of a director in your position in your company? So were you mentoring younger individuals or adults?
They were not always younger. When I got into the university setting, these were college kids that I was helping, but in the corporate setting, it was more like an insurance type of company. And I was director of health and wellness at the time. And a lot of people would come ask me questions about how do you balance work and
Mm,
health? And so I found that I had to always look for the balance for
yes.
people to succeed. And I also spent a lot of time learning how important it is to take care of yourself so you can take care of other people. So that was my foundation. And when I moved into coaching, I could bring that with me and it was helpful. I don't really promote I'm a health and wellness coach because that's not my niche, but it's what I bring in addition to the marketing and just all the profitability side of things, business management.
That is so nice. And that is so true, though. I was outside my office. I was watching these birds that came and built the nest. Of all the places, there are so many pillars, but then they found that pillar right outside my office. And when you said, we have to take care of ourselves, when I looked at it, I was like, wow, it really made me reflect on how they found this safe space and built the nest. And the mom bird came and laid the eggs, and then I guess I didn't see the birds for a while, and then she came back. She was sitting on the eggs, and then the daddy bird was sitting there. And then after some time, I would just, every time when I come in, I would just look up and see the birds, and it made me feel good. So it's not the reason why I'm saying this is being in the nature, doing things that make us feel happy. It's so important to take care of ourselves. That is part of health and wellness. So then you are able to, like, if you are a business coach, you are able to take care of others. And me, mindset coach, I am able to take care of other things for my clients. So whatever that makes us feel happy and content and, peaceful by reflecting on things that are in the nature. So that's what I learned. I'm like, wow. So these birds are like, and she was sitting there. The mommy bird was sitting there for so long. I'm like, when will she go and have some food or something, right? I mean, seriously, when I finish my teaching my yoga and I go out, I still see the bird. I was like, wow. And now the eggs have hatched and the birds have come, and she's nurturing them, and I saw the little birds just pecking on the mom. It was so cute. So thanks for saying that how taking care of our health and wellness is important for us to take care as business owners, our business. So um, I want you to tell me, as a business coach, and you have mentored so many people, and with your clients, you coaching them to so the clients can have profits. How do you define success? And has your definition of success changed from when you started your journey?
Yes, my definition's changed. It's interesting. One of the ways you measure success, and it's specifically why I got into this type of coaching, is you're looking at your revenue stream, your profitability, and your two margins, your gross and net. And if you track those monthly, you have a really good dashboard of how you're basically improving. That's if a business does their books monthly, which is another problem. When people do the books monthly, they're basically looking at how they're going to buy freedom. So it
Mm.
might be also investments in their business. So there's usually a reason why people want to make more money. It's not always, especially for small business people, it's not always, oh, I want to be a millionaire. Most everybody says they might want to be a millionaire. And I've encountered a few businesses that say, I don't want to be a millionaire. I just want to not be so exhausted in my job. So we deal with exhaustion much like you might do with your business because people work, 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 work. They don't take a break and they also don't learn to delegate. There's a lot of things they don't do that make it harder on themselves and they don't want to let go. So it's funny. I'm thinking of this because of all the businesses I've visited, just little ones in the last week or two. Go into a fast food and they have a transaction. You're going to like go through a window. There's a transactional basis to get your food, the whole thing, and you leave. And it's really nothing more than that. Okay, it's transactional, and they might say something like "Have a great day," or they're scripted, that kind of thing. But it's sort of transactional. Business owners, it's not really transactional when they're small business owners. To them, these are important people in their lives. These are clients, and they don't view it as that. Unless they're churning lots of people through, which many small business owners don't do that. It's like a roofer might have so many clients at a time. They develop a business relationship with that client, and they have to, go back and forth on how they serve the needs. But I find service is more ingrained in small business owners than the transactional service people you encounter. So, and
So,
I just went down a rabbit hole, but I
no,
wanted to
no,
share
no.
with you why I noticed the difference in a big business. They're just doing their job. And sometimes they don't go beyond that. And a lot of times they won't even open the possibility that there could be um, some other way to solve something, or they need to treat you differently because of your situation. Small business owners tend to find a way. And if
How do you define success as?
the success would be free, as I was mentioning, freedom, so that they feel it's not even the end of the coaching never ends, but at a certain point, and it could be a year into it, they've achieved a certain financial freedom that allows them to hire another person. Maybe it's a virtual assistant to help them, or a marketing person just to get the social media stuff out of their way. So success can be the addition of something else to take off your plate. Another aspect is they just made more money to cover more expenses.
Mm.
Another is if they're currently losing money, getting out of debt is like success. We're like, yes. And it's
Yes.
not even a huge win. That's just getting them from, decimated back to, a fresh start.
That is so true, though, because that is important. So they can have a fresh perspective, like they can do this and they will be able to do more successful things in their life because if they are able to
Yeah.
consolidate the
And
debt.
And I have to add one more thing. Another piece of success, because a lot of small business owners are really big family people. They're not
Mhm.
always just solopreneurs, meaning they're, don't have anybody else in their life. Frequently, they have kids and a husband or wife in big family units, especially in Ohio. And I see them talking about things like, I'd like more time with my kids. I really want to see my kids game, but I can't get away.
Mhm.
They say things like, um, I'm really sad because I can't do this when my husband or wife needs this because I'm too tied up.
Yep.
So sometimes it's improving the quality of the relationship and getting a chance to go on vacation. that maybe
Yes.
they've never had, which is stress relieving in itself, even though I've been on vacations where I came back more stressed. If you've been in the lines lately at the TSA, that's maybe not it,
That's what I heard.
that's
Yeah.
not a relaxing vacation. That's probably stressful being there 4 hours, 5 hours ahead of time. But that's the other piece of success, that people can feel their life is fuller and richer with their family unit.
What is one achievement that you are so proud of?
I think my very first big coaching is my achievement because it happened during COVID. And that's when we were brought in. This is City of Los Angeles now. And if you remember, LA was the hub of everything shutting down. And Ohio, where my son was here in school, people were freer to move around. They didn't all wear masks, that kind of thing. It was really shut down in LA. You couldn't go anywhere, couldn't go to work. You had to wear a mask everywhere. It was very, very
Hmm.
just, how do you
Hmm.
say this? I don't have the right word for it, but just tamped down, maybe is the word.
Hmm.
And that's when Zoom became more prominent. So I was able to reach out to more people and talk to more people. And I got paired through an economic development corporation that I was a member of their board. They asked for volunteers to go out and work with small businesses and to just Zoom with them and figure out how these poor people could survive or maybe even pivot a little bit to survive. And so I got about every 3 months I got another client, but they weren't always long term, and I wasn't doing profitability coaching. I was just doing what's reasonable in an emergency situation. So it was intuitive coaching really. Where are they? What do they need? And usually there was a whole lot of mindset coaching because they were all depressed, crying, upset, trying to figure out why LA County couldn't get their act together. They give them COVID money. Some of them waited a long, long time and were close to bankrupt before they even got the relief money. It was so disorganized. So my feeling on this whole thing was how do I get these people out of crisis, first emotional, then how do we sort of eliminate all expenses possible, maybe even shut the business down for a while, and how can they survive? Is there another talent they have, something else they could do? What else could they cut in their lives to money wise to not their family, but money
So,
wise to.
who are you coaching? Who are you coaching?
I was coaching a basketball coach
Yeah.
of all things who had a team, and
Okay.
so that was bad because he set up for youth in the greater San Fernando Valley. He set up camps and used to have all of these. He rented all the facilities. LA County shut down all the schools. Nobody could get in there. So he had to figure out a way to run teams socially distant
Mm.
outside and find basketball places that were appropriate for to take his students. And so he had to minimize how many he could use. So he was able to continue it a little bit, but this went on for 4.5 years where LA County couldn't get their act together. He couldn't get back. And so I helped him get another second COVID grant. So I actually did some grant writing for people.
Beautiful.
Um, I think the emotional support, I'm sure he's really happy he met me because there was so much emotional support going on um, that I was giving him. Just attaboys, you can do it. People are going through
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
And
So
he
that might have
was grateful.
that you helping him emotionally and then writing the grant so he can get some support.
He got some
That,
money, yes.
yeah, and support his family is amazing. So when you said that, that is great achievement. When either your client or you, what is one challenge that either you have overcome or you helped a client to overcome? Maybe it is a belief that that was limiting them or limiting you. That how did you overcome the challenge, or how did you help your client overcome
Yeah,
the
there's
challenge?
one out of state client I have I'm still working with, and he had limited beliefs on what he could make as a
Mm,
business. He hasn't been around forever at all, but his maybe 7, 8 years, something like that, and he's been increasing periodically his revenue and profits, but it's not really enough to sustain what he wants for the family. And so we kept talking about limited beliefs in what he could do. Now, I'm very lucky. My software, my profitability software, gives you numbers. So I
Mm.
can literally go in and say, okay, let's go through these 12 strategies. What are you doing in this strategy? Okay, nothing. What percent increase if we added this, this,
Mm.
this, and this? Do you think you could get another 1,000 or 2,000? What do you think you could get from this? So we literally go through every one of them, put money to it, and it was clear to me he could level up 3 times.
Wow.
And the key there, though, is do you have capacity? Because
Yes.
nobody can level up 3 times and not ask that question. You've got to decide,
Yeah.
can you handle that much business? And given the kind of business we were upscaling him to, it's possible, including adding additional services.
What
So
was he doing? What was his business?
it's cabling.
Okay. Okay.
It's
So
cabling.
did he hire somebody to help him?
He has 2 employees.
Okay.
So that wasn't it. It's a strategy of how to acquire these new businesses, and that's taking some time.
Yeah.
People expect overnight results. It takes about a year to get people, unless you get lucky and you get it, it's almost like an overnight star in Hollywood. Unless you get lucky and you get your first gig,
Yeah.
usually you make some mistakes or you don't have all your materials or just you're not as effective initially.
That is so wonderful. So how did that make you feel when you helped him overcome that challenge of limiting belief that when he felt like what could he do and you helped him see the potential, see the
He
possibilities.
he looked at me and we were on Zoom and he looked at me and he said, because I said, I think you can make be a millionaire with this. Seriously. And he goes, I think so too. He
Oh,
started to believe it.
that's
But
good.
reality is hitting the road. We're not there yet. We still have a lot of work to do. But the
Okay.
fact was, it opened his eyes. By the way, you think I'm Italian with all the hand stuff going on, but it opened his eyes that he could do it. And several big opportunities have come his way, but they're long-term catches, if you know what I mean. It's
Yeah.
not the relationship building. It's not an overnight thing. It's
Yes.
government work. There's a bunch of things, and you really have to establish credibility and work for a while, getting the trust of other businesses. So we're working on all that.
Thank you for sharing. Um, so that is why you say you help business owners who are in the trades.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, because the trades. I wasn't really doing the trades in Los Angeles. I actually did whatever came my way because LA was kind of funneling people they wanted to funnel to me. So it was like the basketball coach, for example, he actually owns a league now. He grew from one team to now a league and
Wow.
multiple sites and got out of LA, Los Angeles Unified School District, so he can actually make some money because it's so expensive to use a school. So he's figured out ways to do his business in a very difficult state to do business in. Anyway, I'm sorry, I just forgot the question because I was so excited to tell you
I
that.
don't know. You were, yeah, that's what my question was like. So you enjoy working with trades. How do you help your clients stand out from their competition?
That is something that's mindset as well.
Mm.
Usually they either think they do it and they absolutely don't stand out. And they
Mm.
say, I've been in business 26 years. And we go, so what? Your competitor's been in it 60. Is one good? Is one better? No, nobody really cares actually. They just want to get the best service now. If you were good 60 years ago, maybe you're terrible now. You just don't
Mm.
know. So I do a competitor analysis with them. We look at who is their competition, and when I say who, other business owners,
Mhm.
then this is really important. Who is their competition they've never considered to be their
Mm.
competition? Because if there's that old I guess, business philosophy, you sometimes don't compete against your competitors. You're competing against maybe a cheaper product that's a little different that people go to as an alternative when your product category gets too expensive. So it might be it's not really even in your category. Somebody else just sort of throws it in and offers it and gives a better bargain. So that's not market dominating. Market dominating is allowing you to charge more for something that's better or well known and respected. It
Mm,
doesn't have to be high end. It could be like a dollar store type of situation, but they're
mm,
kind of dominating for their category because of the amount of value you're getting. So
mm,
I want you to think of the word value. You get
mhm,
the best value for your money. So it might be you're paying top dollar, but the value you're getting out of it is 3 times more than the cheaper version. So we start with the competitor analysis. We move into analyzing what makes their business special and different. We take field trips out and look at the competition. We research online. We use AI and ask it questions. AI is a great tool now. And ask it, how can you differentiate my company? You ask your current clients, why
mm.
did you buy from me? What was it about it that was special and important? And you listen and you pull all that together, and eventually you're going to find something that makes you a little different. And I'll give you my favorite example because I love them. Circus du Soleil. They're not really
Yeah.
a circus. No, they're not really circus. So you don't really see elephants and a
Yes.
ringmaster and all that, but they are a derivative of a circus that hasn't really been replicated. They're still the premier, I would don't even know what you call them. It's like commedia dell'arte, part circus, part showmanship, part diving and tumbling and all these exciting things. So you now see it with horse shows and other things. People are looking at that model and going, "Oh, can I do that now for my type of business?" But Circus Soleil is a good one. They took the basic circus and did something completely different. So they're unique, and you can't find that really anywhere else if you want to go see that.
Um, so when you said the values, what are your values that you value?
God, bleeding heart. So I value
Just three.
honesty.
Mm-hmm.
Three. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear the three part. Oh gosh, what do I value? I value helping others.
Okay.
That to me is fundamental and has to be number one. If I'm working with a client and I'm not doing them justice, I should be fired or I'll fire myself. I need to be helping somebody or there's just no point.
Second
Okay.
one.
Second one, um, I think the client and I have to really get along and speak the same kind of language. I value not that we have to be similar, but that we can have a good working relationship to achieve those goals. So, who I'm coaching is important and
Mm-hmm.
what they value. I've actually appreciated working with a lot of faith based people.
Mm.
And you don't find that in Los Angeles so much as you find that here in Ohio. And a lot of people hold those values so tight that they really think about how they serve their customer.
So
So
helping others, working relationship, faith-based, and what is the third one?
it's a bigger mission. It's like saving America, saving small business. It's more of a bigger value that has to do more with a mission.
Okay, mission. Okay. Um, so I also know from networking with you, you help people finding hidden money. How do you do that? Business
Yeah,
owners.
that's so much fun. That's like with my cabling client I was describing, where I go through. It's I do a free profitability analysis for any company, and you could do it without the software, but the software puts the money behind it, so you can see specifically how through each area you're going to increase it. So you might find, like I went through a few clients and asked them about their finances and what we could cut and what we could do. And I think they run so tight. I put zero. in that first strategy. I said,
Mm,
maybe down the road there's something we should look at, but let's make it 11 strategies, not 12.
mm,
So I go through each one of them and look at the potential for how something could be improved. So for example, many businesses don't have a offer, like it's not time urgent,
mm,
or they don't have like, high, medium, low packages so that people can
mm,
have choice. They just offer one thing.
mm,
They don't know, and this is true for fast food, how they're good at this. They don't know how to upsell or downsell in a way that's effective, because you don't want to downsell into something that doesn't work. You want to downsell them into something they could use, and maybe they'll later be able to afford and do an upsell. I also look at their like if they have a drip campaign, I look at their marketing. I look at any reports, anything they have. I look at their budgets, their expenses. Um, it's pretty comprehensive. So, and then I ask them a lot of questions. So all this I enter into a database, and I give them about a 27-page report of my findings. And they're free to go use that or use me to help implement it. But it's like
mm,
where to start. I literally reorder it. So where to start in your journey for profitability, and which are the strategies going to give you the most? Because some might only give you a couple $1,000s in improved
mhm,
profitability, and some might be the big enchilada and you can get 30, 40, 50,000 by including that tactic. And
mm,
the other thing that's funny is half the time people go, I know that, I know that, I know that. I said, but are you doing it? And they go, no. So just knowing it doesn't mean you're going to be more profitable. You got to do it as well. So the other piece of that is I hold them accountable too. You got to do
mm.
it, man. Come on, let's do it.
Yes. Yeah. And that way, we are holding ourselves accountable for the client to succeed, and they are holding themselves accountable. So that's good. Any personal challenge that you have overcome, and what did you gain by overcoming that, and that it helped you in your professional life as well?
Oh, it's got to be technology, because this week was the mother of all technological problems. My laptop, I have an LG Gram. Just a word of warning, anybody out there that's got an LG Gram and Alta Fiber, good luck. I've been suffering for 6 months and not able to fix it. And I've been embarrassed,
Mm,
upset, and I could not get it right. And I went to so many sources to try to get it fixed. It was affecting Zoom, affecting my reports, affecting
mm,
everything that I do. And it would work some days and not others.
mm,
And I finally, this week, I went, I'm going to bite the bullet. I went to Spectrum, changed everything. So this week, I got new hearing aids, AI driven, so that, and I tested them out at the restaurant today. I went to Roosters in Springdale and tested them out, and they are amazing in a group setting where you don't have that background noise that's echoing and stuff that sounds natural. My front door bell cam is, of course, not syncing. It's broken. It had to be migrated. I did that this week. And then I changed out Alta Fiber on all three. And I'm waiting for AT&T to tell me that they will unlock my phone, please. So here's what I learned from it. If you're not persistent, you just don't get anywhere. You've got to be. So I teach that to my clients too. Don't give up. Usually, when you give up, you are 2 steps away from success. And maybe not always, but lots of times you're really close and you've gone through this enormous transition and difficult time. I think of just, gosh, earlier in my career, even just when they changed out phone systems, it was like, oh, I got to learn something new today and I don't really want to do it. How do I put people on hold? So I find technology challenging because I feel like it interrupts my day rather than enhances it. I just want it to work. And if it doesn't, I get like, no, about it.
No, that's true though, because when we get frustrated, that's because that one reason could be we are in an uncomfortable spot, and once we get through that uncomfortable spot, because growth happens outside the comfort zone, so
It
when we
does.
get through that, like you went and yes, it was hard, because you have to shift all of that, your computer to phone to, at your home to everything. But you feel much more relieved now from what
No,
you're
I'm
saying.
completely relieved. And
Ah,
2 days ago, my husband gave me a huge hug because I was like, "No, it's not working," and all stuff. And he goes, "You have no idea how well you've been doing." He goes, "You're just knocking down one problem after the other." And by the way, you knock one down, and this tech stuff I was working on, four more come at you. It's like one of those, those game things. They were all coming at me at once, and I had to figure out how to keep everything in order and not lose my mind. And that's what a business owner goes through. So I feel like I
yes,
just experienced a small business's worst week at work.
yeah. Um, what is one thing a business owner who's listening today could do tonight to move forward? One thing.
Yeah, I, you know, typically it's cut a cost, go
Mm,
through your bills, take a look and see, is there anything like I was going through my bills to see if I made this shift, could I actually save money? And I think I saved about $50 making this shift despite everything. So that made me a little more profitable, crazy, but profitable. So I say go through it once a quarter, your
mm,
business bills, even your personal bills, because you may have really enjoyed a subscription before that you totally forgot about, you don't use it anymore, and you're too lazy to cut it. So what I tell my clients is, okay, let's find the thing you haven't cut yet that you were meaning to. Sometimes it's like returning parts they no longer need, but they'll get money back if they return them. I said, I need you to count up exactly how much money you're giving away. And they counted up, and I said, okay, how much is that? And then sometimes it's usually 3 to 6 thousand, like somewhere in there. And then I'll say to them, are you willing to give that up? And they go, no, I'll get on it Monday. You put it into money and you force them to think about you just wrote a check.
yeah,
And
yeah,
and that's an easy win. So I'd
yep,
say look for your easy wins so that you save money. I mean, everything's expensive now.
yeah,
Food's expensive, cars, everything. So look for ways to cut costs and it doesn't necessarily harm your family, yourself, your business, but they're not really needed anymore.
yeah. That is so true. When you said that, because I was subscribing to this um, you know, channel, what I would say, that was sending my newsletter out. And I realized I was paying $28.29 per month. And I'm like, hold on, the CRM I have can
Mhm.
do that newsletter out or the
That's
emails out to
right.
my clients. If I add that times 12, I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. you know, it's important
Yeah,
because the out of sight, out of mind, and it's you put it on a subscription or it comes out of your credit card, and I'm like, hold on, I can avoid this, save that money, and use it to pay something else.
yeah, and that runs into the text changing so fast right now that people might be able, like I pay, or not me, I'm sorry, my clients, some of them have Go High Level and only pay 97 a month. Do you have Go High Level by any chance?
Yes.
Okay, because yeah, it does everything. It does your newsletters, it does
Yes,
the whole thing.
everything.
It can
Yes.
save you money if you're willing to go through the tech hell to learn it.
Yep.
And
Yep.
if you don't want to learn it, you got to pay somebody else to do it for
Yes.
you.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
So
No,
there
that,
is
that is so
time, but
true. Yeah. So before we wrap it up, I wanted to ask you, what is one thing that others value and you don't? And how would you define that you are aligned with your life's purpose, aligned with your dharma?
what do other things people value and I don't?
Yes.
This is going to be, can it be materialism?
Whatever.
I think I'm past that. I
Mm.
don't think I value having a fancy car. I'd rather just have a reliable car that goes.
Mm.
I don't care if it impresses anybody. I don't want it to leak oil though. So I think some of the, the logos, the things you do to impress other people, I feel like I'm way past that now. It doesn't matter to me anymore. Not that it always did, but I think times have changed too. People are more minimalist. But still you see, uh, high-end purses and, lots of things people pay a ton of money for. That has a cost to your life too when you spend that kind of
Yes,
money. And people go bankrupt trying to keep up with the Joneses, trying to keep up with all
yes.
these things when maybe they really don't need them. And then what was your second question? The
How do you align yourself with your life's purpose, with your dharma?
with my what?
With your life's purpose, with your dharma, align with
Oh, my
your dharma.
Dharma. Okay.
Yes, yes, yes.
What a tough question. I think always reflecting back on who did I help this week. I think I look at my health because now that I'm older, I'm not a spring chicken anymore. I look and say, okay, am I doing everything I can to keep my health in order? And have I made enough time for myself to walk, stretch, do weight bearing exercise? Because I'm starting to get some health conditions, and so I'm valuing my health equally to other things in my life, sometimes more.
Mhm.
And I know I'm out of balance when I didn't get the health part in, but I got the work in. That's like, no, 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 no. You got to bring the other one back up. So that's I'm trying to focus more on health and even the business part, so I can stay healthy longer.
And that way you are walking the walk and you're talking the talk because you're
Yeah.
helping your business, your quote, your clients align and have a work-life balance, and you are doing that too. We are all work in progress. Nobody has got it right. So I agree with you. There are some days I'm sitting there working and I'm like, okay, stop, get up, go for a walk, or do something, because the more we sit, we are compressing the spine. So it's important, like you said, as we get older, it is so important to do either using your own body weight and do some strength training exercises, or use weights. And yes, it is so important. Thanks for pointing that out.
Yeah, I want to point out just a couple of specifics. So this morning, I didn't get my workout in really Friday or Saturday. I got my steps in. I wear a Fitbit so that I can get steps in, but I didn't really do the exercise I should have. I just was lazy. I just didn't do it. I was one of those, I'm going to sit on the couch. I ain't doing it. I should have done it. This morning I went, no, I'm doing this. And I watched some YouTubes, and good there's good 5 minute, 10 minute videos
Yes.
of getting your blood moving, getting your whole body moving, and there's circulation videos, there's back health, there's hip health. And I worked on one today. It was lymph drainage because my knees are kind of swollen, and it's the back of the knees, and that's usually the lymph glands.
Yes.
They're not injured; they're just swollen, and they tend to not want to work as well. So I have to constantly work them. So I did a whole lymph drainage thing. Then I took a really hot shower and made sure everything was, like blood flow, all that. And then I'm like, I'm going on a podcast. This is fun. Now I have the energy to do a podcast.
Yes, no, that is important because awareness is the key, and you are aware where you have to lift weights, or you have to do something to improve the circulation. So you took action. That is great, and that is so important. When you pointed out whether it was, you said it was 5 to 10 minutes. 5 minutes is better than doing nothing, right?
Yeah.
And once you start, it's like you wash one dish that is in the sink, or one spoon, and it's like, oh, by the way, you know what, I'm going to finish the rest too. So 5 minutes is a great start. And then if you feel like it, once you start working out and you feel good, it's like, okay, I'm going to do for another 5 minutes, and before you know, you have done 10 minutes, but you set the timer for 5 minutes. So yeah, thank
I
you.
did 3 videos this morning. I didn't do the 1 5 minute. I kept going. So there you
There you
go.
go.
There's their proof.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much, Cindy. I appreciate your time. And I'm sure the listeners of Align with Your Dharma are benefiting a lot from listening to this. You gave so many golden nuggets. Um, And what is the way for them to reach out to you? What can I add to the podcast notes?
Well, I have a website that they can go take a look at and they can actually book time with me. It's titlebusinesscoaching.com is my website. And my probably the other way would be my email, which is Cindy, Cindy, at keitelbusinesscoaching.com. And what makes it hard to find me is you don't know how to spell Keitel. So it's Cindy, it's not an I or anything, Cindy at Keitel. If you follow the rules of English, you would get it wrong. It'd be Kie. So it's Keitel.
Thank you so much. And I will add that to the notes. And I appreciate your time. You have an awesome rest of the evening, and there's a little bit more sunshine left. So, whatever you want to do to help your circulation going.
Yeah, and I want to go, thank you, Aruna. You're
Oh, you're welcome.
fabulous. I really appreciate you. And we're gonna go take a walk, me and my dog.
There you go. See ya.
All right, see ya. Bye-bye.